Hey everyone, and welcome to Let's Build Lothloria, episode 20. I'm going to start this episode off a little bit different. Before recording this video, I found out I hit 100 subscribers, which is a wonderful thing, and I can't really describe the feeling of reaching that kind of goal, and I'm just really happy to have that many of you enjoy my videos, and it's really gives me wonderful momentum to just keep going and making a video every day. And I just wanted to thank you all for supporting me. So you'll notice these little details. I went ahead, the update that came out today added some new detail blocks. They actually fixed the structural integrity issue with roofing completely. If I wanted to, I could turn on structural integrity and everything would be 100% sound and perfect. I'm just not going to do that just yet. But they added a bunch of little detail blocks, such as a wall torch and some additional banners. Also, some of these. I kind of wish I had these when I was building the crane, because that would have been a really cool base to have the crane sit on. But to go ahead and recreate it, that might be kind of a last minute thing. But to do that right now, I think that area has been overworked so much. So off camera, in between episodes, I went ahead and added some details. So every shop or place of business I have marked with this tiny little blue flag. So every market stall, every small shop, they're all going to have this little blue flag marking it as a place of business, not just residential. The tavern has one, and even if you go down here, you'll notice the Siege Works has one, the carpentry workshop has one, the blacksmith has one right there by the actual blacksmith. You don't want to be knocking on the guy's house. And then of course the tannery tailor and the bakery. Of course the alchemist has a little flag as well. And then let's not forget the most important place of business in the town, the brothel. It actually has red flags, red light district and everything. So I went ahead and added these little red flags, and there were some concerns over the windows and it being a brothel, and do you really want a window? I added these little red flags as well as little blinds that in the mindset that you could open and close these. They mainly have windows because you want the place to air out. I mean, it's just not sanitary to have poor airflow in these type of places. So I added little red curtains in each one of these little rooms, and I think it adds just a nice little touch of detail, and of course adds a bit of privacy to the companions and patrons of the actual business. I went ahead and added a little house here. I don't know if this is an actual full residential house, or maybe it's the place the owner actually lives there, and maybe some of the girls live there with him. I don't know. That's just kind of up to imagination, I suppose. So, yeah, and I'll go ahead and open up structural integrity. That way you guys can see all the wonderful green. There's no red. I haven't tested the wooden floors back in the tavern because those were breaking originally, but I believe that's probably fixed as well. So it's just a nice feeling to know that everything would stand if I turned it on, and it's just a good sign for you guys because I have the link for the workshop of the town, and if you guys ever wanted to load it up, you can, knowing that the town will be there with structural integrity, and you can go ahead and lay siege to it if you want and just have some fun. So before we get started on the build today, I want to show you one last thing, and actually they added the day-night cycle. So I have it set to about a minute, and so it'll actually transition through and go from midday here to evening. I'm a little far away, so the shadows aren't drawn in high detail, so you have to kind of excuse that. But as we get into evening, I also added to every building the new light, which is the torch, on the wall. So every building has an outside light now. And in fact, once it gets dark, I'm going to stop it and let my character's eyes adjust to the new dark light level. And so this is actually kind of what a person would see at nighttime at Lothloria. You know, plenty of little torches lighting up some of the houses and structures. Of course, all the market stalls doesn't have a torch. I wish there was almost a lantern. Maybe once modding is coming in, lanterns people would make to kind of do a different variation of just the wall torch. And I also noticed that they're pretty much pin lights. If you know anything about like just map making in general, they're just pin lights. They don't have any special fade or anything. They're just a solid sphere of light. I'm sure that'll get updated later to make it look a little bit more fiery and softer. But it definitely makes the town looks like it's lived in during night, and I really enjoy the look of it. So I'll go ahead and switch it back to day. Woo. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm gonna have to, let's see here. There we go. I'm gonna have to let it cycle through. And in fact, I need to set up my hotbar for the build that we're going to be doing today, which is the another manor house. You know, it's one of the large homes to be done. And then I believe in the next episode we'll take a break from the town and the castle and actually start working a little bit outside the walls. There's been some clamoring for some farmland and of course a windmill. So next episode, look forward to having some detail out here, and I think it'll make the whole thing kind of jive together a little bit more. So I'll go ahead and set up my hotbar and I'll be right back, and we can start building on this nice big foundation that I laid out over here. And yeah, see you in a second. Alright, so the hotbar is set up now, and we'll go ahead and start working on the bottom floor floor plan. So it's going to have the porch here in the front, and I'm thinking some type of grand entryway for this one is something I would like to do. And so maybe we can have something like that to take it up a floor. You know, something totally different than normal. We'll go ahead and just seal that off like so. Of course, we want storage under the stairs. More storage is always good to have. And a doorway to get into the left wing here. And there won't be any other way to get into this section besides that. And we'll go ahead and put, I think, a window there, there, and at the midpoint. And build up some more walls. Now, I didn't set this up on my hotbar. There's a new stone wall pieces, and these are actually for these two. Usually when you make a symmetrical object in most block building games, you want to use odd numbers, but because the doors and windows won't line up exactly in the center, but they went ahead and added this piece, which is each half section combining in the middle to make a door, which is a wonderful feature. And this way they can actually go out onto their backyard and enjoy that space without having me to build a larger room and actually take up a lot of empty space that I'll have to take up to try and make that work normally. So over here I'm going to probably make a hallway. I'm thinking that will be that section, and then I'm gonna window there. So that'll be that little room, and then that'll actually come out into this hallway here that connects to another room, which will center up all these little pieces here. Now this manor home is definitely the largest home I've built so far, besides the actual castle keep, which is nice. You know, obviously a full family, a dynasty would be living in this building. It is a very large home, multiple generations living inside. So that's pretty much how that's looking so far. And I'll go ahead and grab the floor tile that I forgot to add. It's always something. And we'll go ahead and throw the flooring where the second story actually have access to. Like so. And this whole entryway is very open, and it'll have a room here and here. In fact, this is the section where you'd go up to the third floor, I'm thinking, because remember, these manor homes are going to have 3 stories, making them a little bit extra special than the normal homes. Other than they're just mini rooms, they actually have you know, that third extra story. Now granted, there is that one house right here that has a loft, but that's not really an extra story. I mean, it's the same size as any of these houses next to it. It's just utilizing the space to give it a third story. So let's see, let me check the time of my video a little bit here. Okay, we have a little bit more time. So the second story, don't need to open my menu, is going to go as planned. This section will actually have a stone part to make sure to hold up the weight of the stairs. And then we're actually going to switch to wood a little earlier than, well, actually it's about the same. So the second story will have the wooden section. Like so. In fact, I think I want a window there. Go ahead and do that. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and lay out the doors. So doors, I want to try and lay out early as possible. It's usually the best way to handle these type of things. Like that. And let's check the windows. You usually don't want to completely stack windows up on top of each other on the second floor. You kind of want to space them out. Like so, I have a window here, so these 2 windows are there now. And we'll make an X there. And on this side, we'll just be able to do a V shape. Probably do an X there. And then here, we can just do a little cross member. Then actually, to make this space look a little bit more open, I can add a window. That way when you walk in, you're just greeted with this really nice open space. It's not really depth open, but just tall open, which is, you know, nice in itself. And you can take the staircase, the dual staircase, up or down. And I think at this point, sadly, I'm going to have to skip to the end of this building because I kind of rambled on at the beginning. And I'll be right back with it. Okay, everyone, this is the finished large manor home. I went ahead and added a well, a community well, but I mean it is on this guy's property, but this place is starting to get far away from a good water source. I mean, I doubt they want to take the lift up to that water source or walk all the way down to the market. So went ahead and added a little well here. It adds just a little bit more variety out front. They have a large balcony. And then of course the roofing, the red roof for the 3rd floor, wood roof everywhere else. I tried to make it as interesting looking as possible, and I think it turned out fairly well. I'm not sure about this area. I might actually end up making it flat and doing a corner piece here, but that's just something to do later. Backyard, little tiny stoop and awning. You know, maybe I'll make a gazebo or something back here, something a little fancier, or some benches. Benches would be nice. And then we'll just go ahead through the back door here. So this area is very nice and large. I would assume this would be like a kitchen, maybe a storeroom over on this side. If I would just put, you know, a door there, it would be a little bit more finished. Storage underneath the steps. Large entryway. A side room over here, which goes into a hallway, and a back room over here. You know, this could even be the kitchen. This over here could be the dining room. And, you know, there's just so many room choices with this type of structure and how large it is. An open space, and then a staircase to the 3rd floor, and another very large open space. You know, a lot of windows. You can see out very well. You know, see down into their well, see part of the academy. Then out here, I mean, there's a window right there as you're going out in the kind of the main entryway. You can see parts of the town. You're mainly blocked by the other manor house, but that's okay. The 3rd floor, you get to see the whole academy, which is nice. You know, plenty of light coming into this room in details. Back here, once there's some more manor homes, that's kind of what they'll be looking at, and they get some kind of overview of the tops of the buildings. And that's it for this very large manor house. If you guys have any suggestions on what you would like me to build, feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe if you like the content that I'm producing here. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next episode, it's going to be some farmland out there, just so we can get away from building all these little houses. And I'll leave you guys with a nice large shot of the whole town. You know, I think it's coming along very nice, and I'm very proud of what I've been working on.